Hi, my name's Emma, and I'm a huge book nerd.
You're my library, always open for business, but you never show it. You're just sitting with it, but I know the score, and you're killing it.
Welcome to my cumulative January-February book haul. So I didn't buy very many books in January, and I bought some books in February, so I just decided to combine and do a cumulative book haul. So the first book that I bought in January, these first two actually, I bought from Barnes & Noble, and I ordered them in December, but I didn't get them until January, which is fine. First is Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero, and I have already read this, and if you want to know what I think of it, then you can go check out my February wrap-up video. But it's basically about the Scooby-Doo gang, but their names are all switched up, and this is when they're older, and they're going back to solve this case that's haunted them for their entire adult lives. And then, of course, I got a copy of It by Stephen King. I was gonna get the white copy, but I really love this edition with Georgie on the front. Ugh, because the movie's so good. I love the movie. I really love the movie. Very happy with this purchase. That's all I will say. Then in January, I hit up Goodwill, of course, and I got Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, which I will probably not read until next Christmas, but because it is Christmas themed, and I was gonna be like, I can just jump on it right after Christmas, but that's just not in the spirit, you know? I'm gonna have to hold off. But I have heard that this is really, really cute, and it was 50 cents, so I couldn't pass it up. Then I made a book depository order, and I got one play that I know that I love, that I'm really excited to read again, and one play that I'm interested in because the next play I'm gonna write is set in the 50s, and this play was actually written in the 50s. Very interesting. This play is Shelley Delaney's A Taste of Honey, and basically it is about a young, teenage girl in the 1950s living with her mother, and I think she gets pregnant out of wedlock and has to deal with all of that. That's what I think happens, but I don't know for sure. So I'm definitely excited to read this. The other play that I got is my beloved Cyrano de Bergerac by Edmond Rostand, and I love this play. Maybe my favorite play I've ever seen live. So I'm really excited to read this again. I haven't read it since high school, so I really want to read it again to see what I think now. But basically it's about a guy with a really big long nose, and he's super clever. He's a wordsmith. He duels with words, which is really cool, and it's very sad. I cried like a baby in the theater, so really excited to get back to this. Then I received my first advanced reader copy from a publisher, and it is How to Love the Empty Air by Kristen O'Keefe Optowitz. And this is a book of poetry, and I've already read the first couple poems, and they're really good. I really like this. It comes out March 20th, so if you're interested in poetry that's a little bit more story-like, it's not like Milk and Honey or Princess Saves Herself, where the poems are really short and clipped, which I actually prefer this kind of poetry where you get a story out of it and it feels very personal. So if you're into that kind of poetry, then keep your eye out for this because it's really cool. I'll let you know more of what I think of it when I'm further in. Then finally, just recently, I made a book outlet order. Book outlet orders are always just so fun. I love receiving them. So let's just hop right in because there are a lot of exciting books here. So the whole reason I made this order in the first place was to get this book, Her Brilliant Career by Rachel Cook, and this is the story of 10 extraordinary women in the 50s. And hark back to when I mentioned the 50s play that I'm going to write. It is in fact about women, so I thought that this would be really great research, and it's actually going to be my senior thesis, so I need to fully research it, you know? Yes, that's what this is for. I know nothing about it beyond that it's about 10 extraordinary women from the 50s. Then I got Inside the O'Briens by Lisa Genova, and I love Lisa Genova. I read her book Still Alice, and I'm completely hooked and want to read basically everything she's ever written. Whoops. But yeah, I just really like the style of her books. I don't know what the genre is, but I really like it, so I'm really excited to read this one. My only qualm about this one is it was not a scratch and dent, but it has this weird, it's like there was paper glued here that's been ripped off. which is fine because I can just like gently tear that off myself. Other than that, it's fine. And actually, when I got it, the dust jacket was on upside down, which was weird. I just fixed it, but I don't know. I was like, Book Outlet? Hello? Oh, and this is about a man with Huntington's disease and his family. She writes about like diseases. Next, I got the beloved classic Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Robert M. Pirsig. And this edition's just really lovely, very beautiful, and I definitely want to read it at some point. I have to admit I'm a little bit scared of it, so someone convince me to not be scared of it. I'm just afraid it's gonna be like really dense and hard to get through, so make me not scared. Then I got another book that's scary for a very different reason, and that is The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris. And yes, I'm aware it's part of a Hannibal series, and I haven't read the first book yet, but I'm gonna read the first book, I think. I just wanted to own The Silence of the Lambs. It's a whole, I was reading The Shining, and I love The Shining, and I hate The Shining movie, and I heard people saying that like Silence of the Lambs, the movie's great, but the book is better, and that's what a lot of people told me about The Shining too, so I just like really want to read the book. I don't know, I'm super excited about it. Happy to have this in my collection, but I need to read the first Hannibal Lecter book first. Next, I picked up The Enchanted by Renee Denfeld, and I know nothing about this. The only thing I know about this is that it's about a man who is behind bars on death row, but the prison is magical? Question mark? There are tiny men inside the walls and there are horses. I don't know what that means. Is he crazy? Maybe. I'm confused. But this has been on my TBR for like ages and no library that I know of has it, and I just really wanted to read it for some reason, and Book Outlet had it, so I made the plunge. Then I picked up The Last Time We Say Goodbye by Cynthia Hand, and this is another book that's been on my TBR for a really long time, and I've heard wonderful things about this book. I've heard that it's very sad. It's about another girl whose brother has died, like my favorite trope, read about them all the time. That's truly all I have to say about this. I don't know a lot about it, but it's beautiful. I'm really excited to read it at some point. The last book that I picked up from Book Outlet is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, and I am so excited to own this. I love the cover. The covers are so pretty. I do want to own the entire series. I have read the first book. I have not read the second. I'm aware that this is the third. But Book Outlet had this one. They didn't have the second one or the first one. They never have the first one. Sometimes they have the second one. Long story short, I will eventually own them all. I'm just starting backwards. It's fine. So those are all of the books that I bought in January and February combined. I am super excited to read them all. My TBR shelf is forever growing and it's scary, but it's fine. It's fine. I will never run out of books to read, and that is a comforting thought. If you have read any of these books and you're excited about them and want me to read them sooner rather than later, then please let me know down in the comments. I love getting hyped up about books. It's very exciting. If not, just comment whatever you want down in the comments and then like and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you know that I'm posting a new video. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Mwah.